is November 16th on a nice cold day. And now here's Gavin with sports and stuff.
Hi, how's it going? I'm Gavin and I'm bringing you the scores and schedules. On Monday, the Flyers beat the Bruins 3-2. Catch the Eagles versus Pates and the Jags versus Colts. And Cowboys versus Lions. And Rams versus Bears this Sunday. Steelers lost to the Browns 21-7. And guys, no rings on the table. Catch you next week and back to Feinberg.
All right, now we're going to bring on a special guest, Mr. Casano. How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm alive. You?
All right. I'm alive as well.
All right, that's always good to hear. Yeah, these chairs are a little hard
That's all right. I'll get used to it.
All right. So we'll just start off with a nice first easy question. How did the team do from like your standards and your expectations this year?
What team are you talking about?
The girls soccer team.
No, they did well. We actually finished with the same amount of wins last year, but the wins were better. Our goal differential was much better. We had tougher opponents, and we improved on almost all our stats. So I'm proud of the girls. They had a good season.
That's really good. I went to a couple of their games. Very good games.
Exciting, right?
Yeah. What did you think of the seniors this year?
The seniors were fantastic. They, for the first time in a long time, all the seniors contributed by scoring points on some level. Morgan Rennie had a few goals, a couple of assists. Sophia Mantilla had an assist, which is good for her. And Deja Gutierrez scored a goal. And Deja had a good season in that she was a spot starter last year, but she started just about every game last year. So the seniors did well. They contributed pretty importantly to the team.
Yeah. What did you think of the captains this year as like taking leadership over the team like when they needed it?
The captains did a good job. A couple of them were pretty young. There were two of them were sophomores, so that's unusual to have sophomores as captain, but they deserve to be the captains. And we had Morgan Rennie, Cameron Cobb, and Christy Brennan, and they did a good job. They mostly led by their behavior on the field and how they carried themselves. So they were good.
Yeah. What were some of the downfalls this season, like injuries, like people just not showing up?
There wasn't a whole lot of that. We had one injury to McKenna. She was a starter, and she played about half the season, so that was a big loss. I mean, we managed to, fill that position fairly well, but I think it would have been better if she had completed the season. But, it's not her fault. She got hurt. As far as discipline and stuff like that, I didn't have too many disciplinary issues. I'm a pretty hardcore kind of guy in terms of that kind of thing, so they know not to mess around.
What are you thinking about the juniors that are becoming seniors next year and all the grades that are moving up? How do you think you guys are going to do next year?
I'm excited about next year. We have most of my starters. We had a very young team, mostly sophomores. We had like two seniors, one junior, and the rest were sophomores and freshmen. So we were a young team. And I told the ladies, look, we can't sneak up on anybody anymore. We had a couple big wins this year. We beat a Booton team that was 9-8. I'm sure they weren't weren't ready for that. So I think a lot of the teams aren't going to take us very lightly next year. We scared Lenape this year. We had a 1-goal lead for about 3/4 of the game, so we put a nice fear into them because they were a pretty good team. They only had like 1 or 2 losses going into that game. So I'm excited. I'm excited about the future of this team.
Yeah, it sounds like they're just going to have a great future.
I hope so. I hope so. Yeah.
What did you think of the including different how do you think like all the grades mesh together as a team?
They were good. I think that when you have, on most teams, there's going to be cliques that are a natural kind of thing. The sophomores hang out with the sophomores, the freshmen with the freshmen, that kind of thing. But it wasn't detrimental to the team. It wasn't like it caused a big rift or any disagreement or anything like that. So they mixed well. I think they respected each other well enough to understand that they all had a job to do, and I think they did a good job of that.
That's really good to hear because it showed on the soccer field for sure.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
No problem. Well, that wraps up today's thing, and we'll see you next week.